All right, Mark here. Y'all know how I do. I cook the books and I bring the information. Tonight, we're going to go from Proverbs chapter 23, verse 7. I want to talk about the verse says, for as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. This is Proverbs 23, verse 7. But I want to put a spin on it. Here Solomon is telling us that as a person thinks inside, so is he outside. And what I want to do is I want to, expound on it, but with a more secular approach, right? A more mundane or temporal approach. I say temporal in the sense that if we study the brain has at the very top of the brainstem, there's a part of the brainstem that's called your reticular activating system, R.A.S, R.A.S. And the reticular activating system it's comparable to a bouncer at a nightclub. I just want to think of like simple terms so that we can understand. Make it very, very simple. It's comparable to a gatekeeper, a bouncer at a nightclub. What the R.A.S does, it filters and monitors and allows certain information in and keep other information out. It is the gatekeeper between your conscious mind and your subconscious mind. And what it does, it mediates between both the conscious and the subconscious. And again, consider a bouncer at a nightclub. You can come in, you can't. You can't, you can. And that's what the R.A.S does. So in our environment, there's constantly information that is being fed to us. If the R.A.S wasn't there, the nightclub would be filled to capacity, if not overcrowded. If the gatekeeper wasn't there, the invaders would invade. If the R.A.S wasn't there, your brain would explode. And I mean that literally. And just to give you some examples, think about today on social media. People have Facebook and all these different outlets, platforms. And when you open up your platform, your social media, you have what's called a timeline, and you have the feed, and you can see a plethora of information constantly being bombarded and overwhelmed and encumbered upon your psyche, upon your mind every single day. You have advertisers, you have your friends, your family, so on and so forth. So imagine all the information, and that's just one platform. Imagine all the information in our environment every single day. We would literally, our brain would overactivate and it would explode. So the R.A.S, the reticular activating system, which is right above the brain stem, the stem of the brain, it's right below the reptilian part of the brain, acts as, again, the gatekeeper or the bouncer to the nightclub, filtering, monitoring, giving permission to, and not allowing information to come into the subconscious from your consciousness. So again, it mediates between the conscious mind and the subconscious mind and allows information in, filters and monitors what goes in, what goes out. It is responsible for alertness. Okay. It keeps you alert to the dangers that's in your immediate surroundings. And it also is responsible for sleep and wakefulness. It's also part of the sleep wakefulness cycle. It's a circadian rhythm, right? It's called the circadian rhythm, which is your body's biological clock. The R.A.S also plays a role in that. But its primary function is what I mentioned before. It serves as a gatekeeper or a mediator between your consciousness and your subconsciousness. Now, why is this important? Why am I talking about the R.A.S, the brainstem, according to Proverbs 23, verse 7? Here we're going to segue into why it is absolutely necessary. The proverb says, as a man think in his heart, so is he, right? If we want to articulate, or if we want to expound and elaborate on that in more contemporary or in more today's language, what's being said here is the thoughts that you carry within show up and manifest without. We're translating into a more 21st century dialogue or dialect or tongue. The thoughts that you carry within at some point in the future shows up without. This is what Solomon is saying. As a man thinking in his heart, so is he. The thoughts that you carry, you focus, you meditate, that you withhold in your psychological depository box will eventually show up in your physical reality. It's called manifestation. So this is where the R.A.S comes into play. When the R.A.S say, okay, this bit of information is allowed into the subconscious from the conscious, because your consciousness, your conscious mind is the mind that is aware of the information. And when that information gets the okay or the clearance from the R.A.S to enter into the subconscious, that information, the subconscious mind takes that information, searches for the opportunities in your environment that is going to coincide, correlate, harmonize with that information that the R.A.S allowed to come through. And in so doing, that information, the subconscious, finds the opportunities, finds the tools, finds the apparatus, finds the circumstances, finds the situations, and take that information with the situation, with the circumstance, and create, engineer, manifest whatever that information was. So if you have a goal and you are focused upon your goal, your R.A.S is responsible for focus and attention, alertness as well. If you are focused upon that goal, your R.A.S is going to take that information. And let me say this. Let me preface what I'm going to say by saying this. Putting aside the R.A.S, subconscious, and consciousness for a second, we all have a belief system or a belief structure. And this belief system and or structure is a manifestation or manufactured or socially engineered over a period of time. I'll say that again. We all have a belief system, morals, values, and principles that have been constructed, socially engineered over a set period of time. So these beliefs, whether true or not, for the public, for others, for anyone other than yourself, is irrelevant. Your beliefs are your beliefs, and your beliefs are a result of a cultural or environmental structure that you find yourself in. Now, this belief system that we have serves as a foundation. When the R.A.S receives or allows certain information into the subconscious mind is going to work with that information, but that information is going to be predicated. Okay, it's going to be predicated based off the foundational belief system that you already laid as a foundation. So if you have a goal, if you have a dream, but you also have a foundation that's built on doubt, a belief system, right? Predetermined, presupposed belief system that is designed upon doubt, upon low self-esteem, lack of confidence. Your dreams, your goals, and aspirations are going to be built upon that foundation. So it's important. It is vitally important that we understand that the foundation upon which we build our dreams, aspirations, and goals be something of some kind of assuredness, certainty. There's some assurance there. There's some confidence there. So it's important that we understand the belief system that we already have in place. So this way, when the information that comes into or that is allowed to that gets clearance by the R.A.S into subconscious mind, you, no matter how good that goal or that dream or that idea or that whatever that information is, you have to make sure you don't have a faulty belief system. So you have to believe in yourself. If you don't have a strong foundation belief system, it doesn't matter what the information that comes in is, that information is going to be tarnished by the foundation of that belief system that you have socially constructed, or whether you have allowed others to socially construct your belief system, because people can socially construct your belief system by implantation. They can implant ideas into your mind without you even, it's subliminal. So be that as that may be, I want to stay on focus, on course, and say, so where I'm going with this is, okay, so The RAS allows this information to come in from the conscious mind to the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind then seeks out, like I said, those opportunities that are in your environment, right? That coincide with the information, which is the goal, the dream, the aspiration, whatever it is you wish to achieve. It's going to find the instruments in your environment that's going to correlate or connect with the information, the dream, and it's going to allow those things to come together. And then by in so doing, you will see the manifestation of that which you are trying to achieve. You will see the end result. You will see the achievement. You will see the completion, the result, of the dream or of the goal as a result of the subconscious mind using that information to find the opportunities in your environment. Because what's also, and this is what Proverbs mean when it says, as a man thinketh, so is he. Because the ideas that you focus upon, the ideas that you allow to ruminate, and I mentioned this in previous videos, the word ruminate, there's certain animals that ruminate, right? And to ruminate means like chew, for the animals, they chew the cud. They chew their food, they swallow it, then they bring it back up, and they chew it again, just in case they missed any of the nutrients the first time, they'll get it the second time around. So the ideas that you ruminate on, that you chew, and gestation is another form of rumination. It's where you gestate. You take an idea and you let it go over and develop, and you develop that idea. You let it develop in the mind for a very long time, and you get a solid, determined way of doing things or way of going. So the ideas that we think on, the ideas that we hold in our minds, in our consciousness, our subconsciousness, they will manifest in our reality. It is an how can I say this? It is an unfailing law that the ideas that we hold in our subconscious mind will manifest in our reality. And this is what the Proverbs 23 verse 7 is saying. And there is a scientific explanation, which is what we've been discussing here. There's a scientific explanation to that. We can go to physics, but I'm not going to go that far. But physics and genetics. There's a genetics, the ribosome, but we're not going to go there. I'm going to try to stay. I don't want to give too much information because I understand too much information can be a little overwhelming, and then you can get, you can throw up. You can get nauseated or gas or something. I don't want to get your brain to be ill. But be that as that may be, again, it is vitally important that we understand what the R.A.S is, how it works, what's its function, and how it keeps us alert to things in the environment, and how it filters the information and mediates between the consciousness and your subconsciousness. And it's so important that we understand your subconscious mind is it works on its own, so to speak, in the sense that everything that you need for your goals in life is already in the environment. I'll say that again. Everything, every tool, every instrument, every apparatus, device, everything you need to achieve what you want in life, it's in your environment. It is your inability to be aware and conscious of the tools, but that doesn't mean the tools aren't there. So everything you need for whatever you want to be, whatever you want to do in life, everything you need is already there. It's in your environment. It's in your surroundings. This is where the R.A.S, the consciousness and the subconsciousness works together to allow you to see them, to allow you to be aware. Because sometimes, and what I mean by that is sometimes a tool in your life to help you achieve your goal, you can look at it and not see it as a tool that is being given or shown to you to help you achieve your goal. You can see it as an object, as an obstacle, as a challenge, as a, oh my God, I can't believe this. Sometimes things happen and things happen that are bad, all right? They seem to be bad. But that which seems to be bad could be the very tool you need to achieve the goal that you want to achieve. And this is where the R.A.S, the subconscious, comes into play, because the subconscious will allow you to see it not for what it appears to be, but for what it actually is. An opportunity for you to grow, for you to develop, for you to get that company, for you to get that loan, for you to get that house, for you to get that real estate deal, that stock market deal. This is an opportunity, right? You might see it as chaos, but in chaos lies opportunity. I'm a stockbroker, right? And when the market crashes, there are people that are screaming. There are people that are jumping out of windows. And then there are those that are sitting there like this, right? Because they've been sitting on the sidelines. They've been sitting in cash. They've been putting money away, and they've been waiting for the collapse. They've been waiting for the chaos. And when the chaos comes and everybody's jumping out of the window and running and pulling their hair out and going crazy and screaming and lighting their head on fires, they're sitting there like, yes. So that's sometimes how you might see something as chaotic or difficult, but it could end up being an opportunity or a tool that is necessary for you to get to the next level in your dream, your goal, aspirations, whatever your vision may be. So, and the only way you'll see that is when the R.A.S, your consciousness and your subconsciousness are all working in conjunction to allow you to get to the next level. It's magical, folks. It is so magic. We are so magically created. It's not even, I'm not saying it just to be facetious, or I'm not saying it to be in a colloquial term, in a casual way. I mean literally the way our brain and the way our consciousness, subconsciousness, superconsciousness, the way that we are designed, the way that we are created, and the way that we create things, the mechanism, the moving parts, all the various parts. When you study it and when you understand it, it is literally magic. It is magic. So, yeah. So, for as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So, as you meditate upon what you want in life, as you keep the ideas, the goals, the dreams, the visions, set your intent. Make sure your intent is very crystal clear. Okay? Once your intent is clear, leave the rest to the subconscious mind, because your subconscious mind is constantly working for you to bring things, or to bring you into opportunities, circumstances, conditions, environments that are going to be conducive, that are going to facilitate your progress and your process. But you must make sure that you're feeding the R.A.S the right kind of information. Because remember, your mind, the R.A.S, is going to block out a lot of information. And it does this without your input. It's like breathing, right? You don't have to tell yourself to breathe. There's parts of the brain that breathes for you, parts of the stem that breathes, that's responsible for you breathing, the lower parts of the brain stem. And that you have nothing to do with, right? You don't have to think about that, right? So your subconscious works in the same way. And it works for you, and it can work against you. If you're constantly letting in negative information, your subconscious is going to find those environments that are conducive with the information that you're putting into it, and allow those things to show up in your life. You literally create your reality. We, all of us, we literally create our own reality every single day. On a micro scale and on a macro scale, we create our reality. So let's be conscious and mindful of this, and let's take control of our R.A.S. Let's take control of our consciousness and subconsciousness. Let's utilize these magical tools that we as human beings possess, and let's manifest our reality. Till next time, y'all know what I'm going to be doing, cooking books, bringing information. Peace.